Oh my gosh, are my kids messy? Am I the only one that has children that don't like to clean up? Please tell me I am not alone when it comes to this. Please, please, please tell me that I am not the only one that has trouble getting my kids to clean up. So if you are like me and your children make a mess and they don't like to clean up, or you have mommy friends that have that same issue and you've heard them complain over and over again, please share this video with them. Just swipe it, share it, because I've got some tips and tricks that I have found that work a lot of the time. Now, I don't think there's any like true tips that are going to work all of the time, but I definitely have some that are going to be helpful. So please share this with all of your mommy friends, and let's see if we can get our children to clean up maybe just a little bit better than what they've done in the past. So let me introduce myself. I am Julie. I am a licensed professional counselor and a school counselor, and I'm also a beauty builder, building beauty from the inside out and trying to help all the moms out there as best as I can come together to get some tips and tricks for motherhood. And so I came home, and this is, a normal occurrence. I came home and my kids have made a mess. I mean, they love arts and crafts, which is fantastic, but then they go and they spread out and the pencils are everywhere and the markers are everywhere and there's scraps of paper from their cutting, and it's just a disaster, along with all of their toys. And so when I go and tell them to clean up, a lot of times I'm faced with a fight. So if you know what I'm talking about and you know that I'm not alone, please, give me some love over here, because it's so frustrating. And so I have found some tips, like I said, that have worked, and I want to share them with you. And here is tip number one. Tip number one is don't just go and say clean up. That doesn't work. It's too ambiguous. You need to be more specific. And I know that in my prior videos, you guys should go back and watch, I talk about how you've got to be very specific when you're giving praise or whatever it may be to a child. And this is the same thing when you're cleaning up. And so what I do is I assign certain tasks to each of my two daughters. So for example, let's say they've been playing with their art supplies. Instead of saying, go clean up, I will say, Sophia, you are in charge of all of the markers. Sloan, you are in charge of picking up all of the scraps of paper. I'm going to do the colored pencils. And so then we do that. And then when they finished up, I give them another task. And that just kind of keeps them laser focused. And I have found that that works really, really, really well when it comes to cleanup time. Another thing that I have, so I hope that that's helpful. It really works for me. Another tip that I have found, and I'm really all about logical consequences, and I should do a video on that. So maybe this week I'll do a video on logical consequences. But one of the logical consequences that I have is, for cleaning up anyways, is if you don't clean it up, I'm going to put it in a bag because I'm going to assume that you don't really care for that toy anymore. I'm going to put it in a bag and it's gone for a week. And so I give them the warning of cleaning up. I tell them specifically what it is they need to clean up. And then if that's not happened, whatever is left over after the set amount of designated time goes in a trash bag and gets put away for a week, and then they can try and play with it again. And I tell them, you're showing me that you're not responsible enough to pick up your toys and that you don't have value in what you're playing with and that it really doesn't mean much to you. And so those two tips have really, really helped me in terms of picking up after my kids. Now, is it foolproof? It is not foolproof. I wish it were. I don't know about you guys, but my kids can be really temperamental, really moody. Sometimes it works like a charm. Other times it's put up a fight. Other times I'm like screaming and being like, I'm just going to throw everything away. Because that's how I feel, and that doesn't help the situation, I can assure you, but sometimes it just makes me feel a little bit better. Not always the best choice to make. But listen, we're human and we make mistakes and we get frustrated and we get angry, and that's an emotion that we all have, and it's okay sometimes. So anyways, like I said, if you have any mommy friends, please share this video with them. And I just kicked my stand. Sorry guys. Let them know that, there's two tips that they can try. Being very specific and giving out tasks on what they need to clean up, i.e. you're in charge of markers, you're in charge of scissors, you're in charge of cleaning up all of the dolls, you're in charge of cleaning up all of the Legos, whatever it is. Like you're in charge of cleaning up all the pretend food. It doesn't matter. The next tip I have is give them that task, and then if they're not doing it, or if they've left things behind, it gets put in a trash bag and it gets saved for the next week, because clearly they're showing that they're not old enough, nor do they care enough about their personal possessions to take care of them properly. So please share this video, and I hope it's helpful. And if you have any tips on how you get your kids to clean up, share them below, because man, I think we could all use it. So I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.